I know I've been on a Divorce Diaries rant for quite a while now, but I just want to take a break to just remind you about this podcast and how I record it. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast everywhere. Seriously. On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Again, that's anchor.fm to get started, or download the Anchor app.
This guy is nuts. Is he really making daily recordings of his possible divorce and releasing it as a podcast? They both cheated on each other? She's making six figures and still doesn't contribute to any joint endeavors financially? Why is she still with him? Why is he still with her? I can't wait for the next episode. This helped me be a better wife. So this is how men think. I hate my husband less now. I understand my wife more now. These are some of the listener comments to the Divorce Diaries podcast. All over the map, I know. These anonymous accounts of events should resonate with anyone that has been married, is married, or is preparing for marriage, and helps couples avoid pitfalls as they might prepare for marriage. Entire seasons are released on Patreon weeks before anywhere else. At Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Link in description. Now for today's episode.
This is another episode of the rebooted Divorce Diaries podcast, where I try my best to go into way more of an introspective look at myself and the the heavy lift that I actually am, because it helps frame perspective with, I contrast what I'm doing now and how I'm recording this podcast now with the slew of the Divorce Diaries 1.0 podcast that just ended up being just me fucking ranting and screaming into a microphone, both emotionally and literally screaming into a fucking microphone, just how pissed off I was at the world and the raw deal that I'd gotten, not taking any accountability for the shit that I've had to do with the situations and in my current situation. So here's what's going on, and here's the newest thing that I just found out about myself. My reactions are just poor. Now, granted, my reactions would be absolutely perfect if my perspective was also perfect. But my reactions are abysmal because my perspective is abysmal. Let me tell you about what happened this morning. So this morning, I'm walking my dog around an elementary school that's near my house that I'm selling, that I normally walk my dog around there plenty of times during the day. And this time, you know, with COVID and everything, students are getting back in school, and I was on a different schedule because I just got off this fucking juice cleanse shit, and I'm still not back in the gym lifting, so my time was very short, and I did a really short workout at home. So around about 8 o'clock, I'm walking the dog, and that's when the kids have started to come back, and this is one of their days that they're back at school. So the bus loop in front of the school is filling up with cars and buses dropping kids off. And I'm walking with the dog around the bus loop, and I start to cut across away from the cars, but I'm on the school property, and I'm just going to go around the back of the school and continue my walk with the dog. So as I'm doing this, I got my AirPods in, and one of the teachers comes over. One of the teachers that one of the teachers that I'm familiar with, she came over and she's like, sir, you've got to, you can't be on school property with the dog. And I'm like, but I'm walking away from everyone. I'm not going to come in contact with anyone. But my perspective was that I was attacked by someone. My perspective was, get off my back. My perspective was, leave me the fuck alone, right? Then I'm like, I'm not bothering anybody, whatever. Like, I'm basically doing a reverse. They're saying, get off my lawn. And I'm doing a reverse. You get off my fucking lawn. Or I'm not on your lawn. Or I can walk. This isn't your lawn. This bottom, you know, this whatever. This lawn. This ain't your lawn. So I'm immediately defensive. My perspective is to defend myself. And my perspective is I'm being attacked by someone. Now, I had my AirPods in, so I kind of feigned like I couldn't hear the person. I could hear him. And then when someone else visualized what was happening, and I just kind of turned my back, because I have on my sunglasses too, and they're pretty dark. So I just keep myself kind of hidden away like that. And I look and I say, you know what? I'm sorry. I listen to maybe what sounds like 4 other ladies just shrieking fucking hens, right? And that shit is nails on a chalkboard for me. It is. And they're like, sir, sir, sir. And they're yelling, and I'm like, oh shit. But my perspective was already that I needed to defend myself and I needed to be defensive about something. So I stayed in full defensive mode. But I didn't come back at them. I just sort of acted like I didn't hear them. And I kept walking as far away as I could from the bus loop, and I was just going to cut out the little back entrance of the school and walk the long way back around to my house, which is what I did. I wasn't going to keep going around the loop and be super defiant and super insubordinate. I was just going to, I'm not going to let these fucking women fucking yell at me. And that was my perspective. These women are yelling at me. They're trying to accost me. And I'm only saying women because they were. It wasn't any guys out there. A guy, I don't know, who knows, may have come up to me and said, like, hey, sir, I just want to let you know, like, it's kind of a liability thing. You can't really be walking around here with the dog. Like, if it bites a kid, it's like it's on us, and it's a big thing. So while, during school hours, you can't really be on the property with the dog. That's what I would have liked, but I'm not in control of that shit. And where the fuck, honestly, do I get off trying to control how these teachers might be trying to protect their precious cargo, that is the children at the fucking school? Where do I get off? What arrogance do I have in my perspective where I think that, well, whatever the fuck I do is right and whatever you do is wrong? So since this is the rebooted Divorce Diaries podcast, I'm just being way more introspective, and I'm like, I look at myself in so many ways now, and I'm like, this is not acceptable. Like, dude, where do you get off? Why do you look at it like that? The perspective I should have had, because I called my wife, actually. I called her and I said, hey, I need to tell you what happened, and I need to know what you think, because I need to know if I was a little bit off base, and was my perspective off, should I have done something differently? I tell her the whole story, and as I'm telling her the story, I say, I guess I could have kind of said, hey, okay, sorry about that, I didn't know, and just kind of make my way back. And she's like, yeah, you could have done that, and you should have done that. And then she kind of went in, she talked for a while, and she told me about, like, you do this, and, your perspective on that. I can't, the fact that you looked at it in the way like they're attacking you and you got defensive when it wasn't even really about you, because you said the teacher that kind of came up to you, she kind of waved, and then she realized that she recognized your face, so she kind of said, oh, hi, just want to let you know, and you just kind of kept walking, and you just, my goodness, like, I can't believe you looked at it like that. And I'm just, because of my paradigm shift in perspective, I'm looking at things totally differently now, and I'm like, I no longer look at myself as like, oh yeah, you're a good listener. My paradigm shift and how I look at myself now, I'm a bad listener. I'm not an active listener. I listen to respond. I don't listen to understand. So, and boy, oh boy, fuck. I mean, I'm getting better. Like, I mean, I will say, like, probably 6 months to a year from now, I'm probably not going to make any mistakes. I probably won't. Because 3 minutes after that non-exchange happened at the school, I was questioning internally. I was questioning my handling of a situation, because normally, if that person would have said, "Hey, sir," and they're yelling at me, I'm like, "What the fuck? Stop! You don't have to yell. I can hear you. Why don't you just speak like a human?" And I would have come back at them in an angry, sort of arrogant, like, what the fuck, where do you get off sort of way. That's how I would have responded to these teachers that are maybe just trying to do something that they feel is right and safe for the kids. which I would have been 100% wrong. And they would have been right to walk away thinking, like, man, what a dick. Jeez, that guy, he's such an asshole. Like, we're just trying to tell him, we're just trying to get him to understand that we're just trying to. And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck what you're trying to do. You don't fucking do that shit with me, or I'm so fucking angry. What the fuck, bro? Like, why are you so angry? Well, that anger definitely leads into my fucked up perspective on things. And it just twists everything in my brain. So if I were being attacked, and if these women were trying to tell me what to do because they were trying to exert some sort of force and authority over my life, if they were doing that, then, oh, well, I'm fucked. And I'm sorry, not I'm fucked, but I'm doing a fucking good job at responding like an asshole. I'm meeting asshole controlling energy where it doesn't need to be with aggressive asshole energy to stop that aggressive asshole energy. That's what I'm doing. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. They were trying to do something that they thought was right, and I, for their trouble, I fucking ignored them and walked away. And that's the wrong perspective to have. And because this is my Divorce Diaries entry, I'm just thinking about this and I'm like, Jesus. You do that to your kids. You've done that to your wife. You've done that to your siblings. You've done that probably with your parents. And I'm living out a script. I'm living out a script of my life that I've been taught. Like, these things are exactly what I've seen my parents do to varying degrees. I've seen my father do this. Everything is it's an aggressive rebuttal. It's no one is calm. No one's measured. No one's leveled. And I'm telling you, like, I'm black. And I mean, a lot of people are like this, but I will say that in my community, in the black community, we're a little bit more angry. And we're just a little, I don't know. Do I have anything to prove that? I don't fucking know. I mean, the amount of violent crime with black people compared to other races, and we're only 12% of the population. I don't fucking know. We dwarf in violent crime, both murder and assault, and we're only 12% of the population, and we dwarf everyone else in occurrences and crimes. So it's something that I can't get away from, that I need to really fucking go easy. Take my time. I gotta go easy and just chill the fuck out, bro. Because you might be more of a cause of you considering getting a divorce than you fucking realize. Get your shit together.
Wow, that was the Divorce Diaries podcast. The Daily Saga will continue tomorrow. The full season's episodes are on Patreon now. Subscribe for early access. Click the Patreon link in the description. Hopefully these entries help our anonymous recorder as a form of his own personal therapy. That's his hope and his intention. Will these recordings of life's curveballs lead this family to the best resolution in the end? We'll keep listening. New episodes are released daily on all podcast players, but all episodes are available on Patreon at Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Until next time.